Hello, everybody. So this is about leadership growth, and so many times I talk about leadership growth. Are you in a leadership position? If not, should you be uh, should you be called a leader? So many people say, let me. Many people think about becoming an MD, a CEO, rise to the next level. One person actually asked me, you might be there very young and you have achieved significant growth, and you are at that level and you are ready to go to the next level. So are you a leader still? I'll ask you one question. So there are few ways to know whether you are a leader or not. Who is a leader? So how many people got along with you? You have achieved something, right? You have come to a level where people are reporting to you. How many people along with you from your team also came to the next level? If not, then this leadership is not sustainable, because you had joined along with a group of people, a bunch of people, and you are lucky enough to go to the next level. Very good, very fine, extraordinary achievement, and kudos to your achievements also. But you will soon find yourself to be very lonely. Do you agree with me? Because the same people that you have started your journey with, you have outgrown that level. And now in the next level, you need friends to achieve the next level. Now, who do you think you should depend on? Already you have spent some time knowing each other in your friend circle, and as a leader, you are responsible for their growth as well. In my previous organization, I was heading the HR, and when the incentive time, the performance appraisal time came, many people, the managers are the only people, managers and above are the only people who were considered for raise. And the people who are at grassroots level and in the operation level, who are not in the head office, who are operating in the field, in the marketing, who are not in the office, no, they are in the field, they are with people. Those people were not considered for the raise. Then I asked question. Do you ask that question? I want to hear from you also, and I want to also think. You should think in this light. So whether you deserve the uh, raise, and then it is perfectly fine, and whether the other people in your team, maybe their capabilities were not recognized enough and they didn't grow. Are you feeling responsible? Do you feel responsible? That is my question. I agree that in many companies, these people, the supporting hand, are not recognized. So if at some point or other in your leadership growth, you have to be the supporting hand of a person who is making the strategy, if you are sufficiently higher above with the senior manager. So you come to a supporting role. What if your role is not recognized? There also, people will take the credit, right? If you don't have the attitude to recognize others, obviously people will recognize that in you, that you are not a team player. Do you understand that? So I am not specifically referring to the team building thing, but if there is a choice, where it will bring you more happiness, more ideas to grow further, and you are not complaining about anybody, but you are appreciating everybody, then you are at an ideal position to grow further. You will not have sleepless nights to achieve your next promotion. Now, why do I uh, tell this? Let us try to figure out this. Let me share the screen as well. I am Sangeeta. I am a leadership growth mentor, and I have 25 plus years of experience now mentoring people, because I have been leading teams in various fields in immediately in my office or in the remote areas with the field as well. So give me a second. I'll bring that here. So let us start the thing as to and this is a very, very sensitive point. That is why it takes a lot of uh, let me say that this requires a lot of screen space to understand what it is actually. So here is, let me bring this to here, and I'll bring this to here. So let me ask you some questions. Do you want to know about leadership growth? Are you aiming to serve people better? Aiming for dignified existence? Most of you may or may not understand what is a dignified existence is. That we will discuss. Looking to spend more time with family? Yes, most of us need that. We need family time, freedom for ourselves, also financial freedom. Looking to be in charge of your life. Of course, anybody and everybody wants to be completely in control with their life, right? So if you belong to any of this category, and I'm not saying that your problem will be exactly like this, but somewhere similar to this, because I know that if any of this problem is hitting you, then you have certain sub points also, sub pain points also, finer pain points also to be resolved. So who this is for? This is for people who have 5 to 12 years of experience and who have been sidelined. Upcoming team leads about to get promotion to the next level, and their promotion has been stopped. Mid-career professionals, their growth is not satisfactory. Let me also add another category. Past-time managers who are getting into conflict, right? So at workplace, might be you are the person with friction with so many people. Are you any of this? Then this webinar is for you. Now, let me see. the values. What values do you have? The other day, why I call this as value, the other day I was discussing a person who has been troubled with something he does. Whenever he has a problem with his wife, he is into stock marketing. Whenever he has problem with his wife, what he does is he does something some mistake intentionally. Why? He thinks his value system is such that if he causes some problem, some pain to somebody, then he should punish himself. So that is the value system one has. And let me bring this. So what value system we have? So my value systems are sixfold, and the first one is tranquility. Tranquility means, let us talk about, you love peace from within. That is what I call as tranquility. Inclusion means you don't discriminate with people who are less than education with you, less experience than with you, lesser than or greater than age with you, or are at remote places from where you are. You might be at cities, metros, and that person comes from a very, very remote areas. Dignity is, are you doing some respectable work? Are you doing with integrity and honesty? And there are so many things. You are not compromising. You have choice of mobility also. Are you doing that? So that is the dignity part. Are you doing that? The next is abundance, obviously money, but also along with this, it is more than money. Reaching goal in time, a money goal maybe, any goal maybe. That is what it will give you the abundance, right? There are many sub-points to that. Let me tell you also, it is about health goal, love goal, family goal, emotional, spiritual, mental, and there are so many other goals as well. Let me bring this mental goal, finance goal, career goal, health goal. Are you reaching your goals in time? Multiplicity. Are you able to multiply whatever work you are doing? If you are not doing, you have to start all over again when you have to replicate this thing. Whatever you are doing, if it is replicable, it is scalable. You do just one time work and it will give you a return all the time. Replicability, as I said, whatever you replicate, it will multiply. Scalability, whatever you can replicate twice, it can be replicated for 60 times, 1,000 times, 1 lakh times. How much contribution are you making? Are you making any contribution to the society in terms of time or money? We call it as seva or charity. Are you able to give timely support to people who are in need? So, and then the next value is joy. No, next value is learning. Learning is not reading a book. Whatever knowledge you have, you just have to give it to somebody. Somebody should be benefiting from your knowledge. So it might not be what, suppose you have learned one theory, right? It might not be the same theory that you are teaching, but how you applied it, that will, if you are doing it and you have gained some insight, of course, obviously you will gain some insight. If you have gained some learning, some insight, whether you have delivered depth in self enactment, all these are part of learning. Then joy. Next is joy. Joy is about being positive, having a global vision, global co-creation, automation, delegation, leverage. Whatever saves you time is what will give you the joy. So these are the 6 values that I have. And whoever stays with me for the entire 90 minutes time of this webinar, I will give a, nobody so far has joined here, but I can offer them a one-to-one system, one-to-one call along with them. So what is there in it for you? You will learn the frameworks for attracting opportunities, right? Unique packaging of USP. You might be having very ordinary qualities and skills, but when you are packaging with your personality and what you love, then it becomes a unique selling proposition. Most people don't know. And when we actually can do some test and find out what are the strengths that you have. Along with that, we can relate. We can connect the dots. That is how we can create the USP. It takes time, but it is all free. You can do it yourself. Expertise that leads to dependability and trustworthiness. So whatever you do, whatever skills that you have to be keeping doing it time and again. That is how you will build trust. Otherwise, people will say it was a fluke. And what you will do after this job is over and you are given another opportunity, or say you retire, and whatever you have learned, if it is only center specific to the organization that you have, then it will be of no help to you, right? You might get a similar job, but you cannot monetize that. So what about that? Would you like yourself to be a sector expert? Whatever your USP is, can that be an expertise which can be monetized? So that one we will also discuss. Why it is relevant? What are the issues? What are the problems? What is a good career? What has been your goal? Are you stuck on fulfill or any other thing? Many people have come to me saying that it is not the workplace that has some problem, but it is about something else. So let me uh, let me show you how many problems that people will have. Here, if you see, I did a market study. People think that they are stuck. The growth path will be a straight line, upward curve, but it is not. Many of you will have in loops, and from there you will grow. But whenever you are doing this, you will feel distracted, frustrated. And whenever you are frustrated, you are acting at a 20% productivity level. So the more experienced you are, the more delayed will be your next opportunity. And during that time, it sometimes takes 3 to 5 years. During all these 5 years, you will be working at 20% productivity level. If that is so, then what happens to your potential? Then I conducted one market research. And here is the thing. Towards the left of the screen is the work-related issue, but towards the right of the screen, there are many issues which are not directly work-related. For example, restlessness is one of the things why this person was getting, and he was not able to focus. Then there are other things also, personal issues, unfulfilled issues, and issues that one should pay attention to and one hasn't paid attention to. And it has affected his life in many ways. His communication has uh, degraded, declined, and he has started having lot of problems, conflict with many people. right? Let me get back to the mind map again. So that is the industry area. So whoever has a problem, whoever has a question, can actually ask me at the end of this webinar. Let me close this. And now, do I have your permission to tell a little bit about myself? What are the pain points that you have? These are the pain points I had. And one of, not all the problems you will have. You might have one or two problems, but those problems will lead to other pain points as well. Not being heard. So do you have this problem? No growth, not able to take decision, inability to find a solution, inconsistency, no presentation skill, problem with communication, problem with boss, not appreciated. And let me see. Values has come here. Let me see. So are you able to focus yourself around these three values? Let me. So these are the pain points that one has at workplace. Now, what are your aspirations? We all have aspiration from whatever place we have. Recognition, appreciation, opportunity, promotion, expertise are the aspiration we have. But how to get there? So what system I have is, I call it as a drip system, wherein it starts with prominence, start with difference, of course. You are a unique person. So what unique points you have? So that is how you are a different person. And how do you prove your resilience? Doing those. And with those resilience, you create trustworthiness. And that is how you build influence. And with influence, you gain prominence. And the system is around. So system is, what we do is, it is a leadership growth blueprint flagship course. And it will be special. Whoever is completing this course, ask a lot of questions, will have lot of bonuses. Whatever question you ask, according to that, we can create bonuses. And mind you, those are very, 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 very small tweaks that you make in your life. And why I am doing this is, when I started, when I started my career, I was doing everything fine, Still, I was not able to get to I was getting promotion as well. I see many of the IT people, they are also getting promotion, they are getting incentive, everything, but they are not given the charge, they are not given leadership position. So that was my problem as well. So what were those problems? When I mm, uh, explored more into it, what was happening is, we think, I was thinking, for my case, I was thinking I was saving 90% of the cost of the company. But that was not my key area. You don't know, your key result area is not saving the cost. My key result area was the quality of the report, the project that we needed to do. So even if you are doing 100% of whatever you are doing, if your focus is misplaced, nobody will actually tell you, blame you for doing whatever you are doing. But if your requirement, the expectation from you is misplaced, then the other person finds it difficult to give you the next level. Don't you agree with me? So keep going with high energy, keep telling to people, right? Your boss or the system, managers, keep telling whatever you are doing, whatever you are doing. So if there is a mistake that you might be doing, then there will be course correction, and the boss will respond to it. I have 3 secrets about this. Let me bring the screen towards the right. So the first is how to manage yourself. And the second is how to manage people. And the third is how to manage time. If you don't manage your time right now, then there is no way that you will be, getting to the next level. So self-analysis is what we will be dealing with. And self-analysis has many things: your ongoing thoughts, your aspiration, stories of change. All this will be doing in 7 days time. The entire course will take us 21 days, of course. Every week we will have one secret. How to do that? We will have the framework and everything ready based on whatever you are saying, right? Self-analysis, then response pattern and stories, how I voiced myself. That is the mindset thing that we'll be doing. Tool set is the next thing: how to deal with ambiguity, how to manage challenges, how to have emotional intelligence, how to be an empath. No, so uh, uh, sentimental, emotional, and also understanding what the person is going through, right? So that is the second thing. And being a change maker, how you are becoming a change maker, and what audacious dream that you have. That is how you start seeding your uniqueness. Mine is to create a system that will contribute towards global greening, calming, and cooling. This is in the context of the global warming scenario. And this is the decisive decade. Unless we take some action and bend the trend that is going upwards, we bend it to bring to the minimum level, we cannot stop the natural calamities. And it will create some climate problems as well, devastation as well, lots of destruction, loss of life, money, and then it goes beyond you. So we have to be thinking in the manner in which it will be environment friendly. So that is they are calling as ESG: environment, social, and governance. These three things has to come with the leadership growth. Then recharging thoughts. These will be the practices that we'll be doing uh, in the upcoming classes, in which all these things, that whatever your problems are, we will be solving that problem. We will bring somebody to the hot seat and solve his problem, her problem, and then it will be a solution to most of you, right? And the AHAP method is, no matter whatever you learn, if your attitude, habit, action, and perception are not in the right direction, you are not going to learn anything. You are not going to go next level, you know. And the third thing is, it's a 3-day course, lifelong learning. It will be inclusion. How much time you waste further? Collaborate if you have a big, hairy, audacious goals. So small goals you can achieve all by yourself, but if it is a big goal and you have a big dream, then you need to do the collaboration. How do you do that collaboration? We'll discuss that one also. Maybe that is a big subject, but the basics are very few. We can go step by step, working towards that. Why is this course? So this course is, everybody will have his or her way to achieve the end result. End result is what? Growth, right? But that will take oneself. Somebody is bad at communication, right? Somebody is bad at team building. Somebody is bad at managing risks or challenges. All these are the issues, and everybody will have a different kind of framework. And the bonuses that will come with the leadership growth pointers are internal pattern, which is raise your bar, power up within. Delegate appropriate, you have to mentor your second and third rank leaders. Process versus results, raising the bar. Mindfulness, internal pattern is about how you can have the courage to work consistently, right? Mindfulness, soul recharge, joy entrepreneurship is the thing about the legacy, how you would go through this legacy. So these are the, how many steps we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 steps formula. So if this is so, then let me go to the PPT now. Are you able to see? Let me share. So when I thought about this, I have been learning from 12 mentors now, and I have so far trained 18,000 people. But if I want to replicate that thing, it is not possible to go offline. It has to be, technology needs to be added. And so I have started learning the digital process, digital ways to convey people. And these are the mentors and certifications that we have. So the key lessons that I have learned from life is you need to be focused on the area where you are expected to work. The second is people are not decision makers to help them make a decision. The leader has to support making decisions. And the third is you have to play as a support system. You have to be servant leaders. And so shifting in my pattern happened when I attended a HR workshop wherein I was not from HR. My background is about I'm a postgraduate in mathematics, and I was so far doing analysis and data analysis and other things. Social research I was engaged in. So when this HR workshop happened, why people sent me there was I was the senior most person of a small organization. So there I went, and there was this requirement of presenting the HR manual of each person, whoever is attending. The organization that I was representing didn't have a HR manual. So I had to create one HR manual and present it there. So that is how I knew that when you are thinking in the right direction, you have a lot more within you which you don't know. You have to discover. Now that needs to be discovered when you are put in a challenging position, where you are in a community where your positive thinking, thought process is being monitored, and you will be supported out there as to find out what is your thing. So from there on, I was hired uh, to the biggest organization who was participating there by virtue of that thing only. And immediately when I recruited, I was sent to Rajasthan, where 44 lakh women were enumerated within 2 months. So how did I do that? I actually trained 12,000 volunteers from across India. So that was a system, right? So I took help of many people who uh, spoke to different organizations, and those people were hired. They were brought to Rajasthan, at a central place at Jaipur, and they were given the training how to complete this within 2 months of time. So that was a huge project, but completed within 2 months. So if you have sufficient planning, then you can execute any size of work. The second was Meghalaya. Immediately after Rajasthan, I was sent to Meghalaya, where 239 common e-services centers were to be established across the 7 districts of the state. Then it was only 7 districts. So across Meghalaya, 239 common services centers under the e-governance policy was to be established. So I trained about 1,500 people, local youth out there, and created a business plan for them. This is way back in 2008, when the payment system and other system has just started happening. And right now, when I think that time, it was very difficult for each of them to earn even 1,000 rupees, earn even 500 rupees a month. Some people whoever were very near to the banks, they earn about 10,000 rupees even then. And eventually, right now, each CSC, for each CSC, it is auction at 3 lakh per CSC. One has to deposit 3 lakhs to get the charge of the CSC. So that much business each CSC is making. So it feels good that I started the movement out there. Me, not from Meghalaya, and Meghalayan people do not appreciate, they do not welcome strangers to come to their state, but I managed all that. Nobody actually restricted me, my movement, or my work ever. So what was the learning out there? I think it is the body language that you have, your genuine intention which you have, which comes to the fore and helps you. Next, after 2 years, I came to Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, where there was a big crisis going on for the microfinance sector, wherein I tracked the repayment that was happening after the ordinance was established. Overnight, all the microfinance activities were stopped by the state government, and nobody could do anything. Thousands of crores of rupees went down the drain. Some of the organizations worked with RBI and got that money back, but our organization, they actually paid back the money, whatever they had borrowed. So till now, this organization hasn't stood up on its own. But the huge values that was established in front of my eyes was retained. I still have those values which will take me forward. Which one should have? They're in a problem. Obviously, many people will suffer. But how to overcome those problems and get to the next level is what that I have learned with your values. Not to take advantage of whatever system is there. As far as possible, one should make the effort to do the right thing. If it is not possible, if it comes to the organization being spoiled or getting broken, then only you can take help. So that is what we do. And I'm very proud to be part of that organization. After that, I came to Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve, wherein I was given the task of establishing food security of the local people who were living in the fringe villages of the Tiger Reserve, because there was no fencing. People were going to the core areas where they were getting killed by the tigers. So the forest department asked us to create an alternative solution. So what solution can you give to people who are not educated without any exposure? So fast forward, I mobilized the ladies. I mobilized them into 2 clusters and then federated them into a federation, and they became the board members. It so happened that these people won 17 awards in 4 years of time, and they became the members of the district governing board as well. So that much achievements was happening there. one of the ladies won the CII award with Ideal Women. What she did was she spoke about mm, the micro capital is the way out from poverty, vicious poverty. So once people will start saving money, they will have some amount at their disposal. If they have this saving amount, small amounts, this establishes their character. The government has a lot of schemes to help them. They created 36 lakh corpus within 4 years of time. The federation, it is a record kind of thing. They became food scarce. They had only 3 months of food on themselves when I started the project, and at the end of 4 years, by 2015, they were food sufficient. They were selling food grains to the societies. Ladies became leader. The area was known as the pilgrimage area of agriculture in Madhya Pradesh. And the then Chief Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, also awarded them in a farmer convention which was attended by this farmer at Gujarat. Now, this couldn't have been planned by me. Can you? So this is what I try to say. When you start doing small, be at it consistently, then actually miracles start to happen. So it happens for everybody. Whoever you have seen to achieve miracles, just know, just see, observe. What did they do? They were consistently at it. And the lady who won the CIA award was recognized felicitated by the then Industry Minister, Mr. Anand Sharma. One farmer got an award from the MS Swaminathan Research Foundation. Another lady got recognized by Andhra Pradesh governor for being the best SHG leader. So this was at Jharkhand when I was given to revive a dead watershed. And we could do that in just 3 months' time, along with the local SHGs. And this is one of the grassroots worker who became the CEO of this federation that we had formulated. He is one of my colleagues from Vishwabharati Santiniketan University, who is now the UNDP officer, but he was there as a fresher. And I mentored somebody, a simple executive, to become the HR head eventually. She has just taken over the HR head position. So this was the delegation I did. I trained her to do all the work and how to do. These were some of the recognition that I won from the chairman and the CEO of the organization where I worked. I was sent in a study to Canada. Then I was recognized as the Women Challengers of the Year in the year 2014. And this was in Canada. Defining moment came in my life was pretty early when I came to know. Even now, my mentors tell me that deciding to work away from the comfort zone is rare. Even when you are thinking that you are a risk taker, just be aware how much comfort zone you have created around you, because that takes courage and uneasiness. All the time you have to struggle. And people also, it is a hustle, and the grind also. If you want to gain something more, then you have to go through the hustles and the grind. That is what they say. But again, people also will tell you about being happy with whatever you have. So that kind of no contradictory statement you have to go through, but that is when the value system of yours, what value do you live for, comes into handy. So 3 resources to manage, as I told you, it is how to manage self, which is at 80% you should manage. It is such an important thing. How to manage people, 5% of course, and time is 15%. If you manage yourself 80% of time, people and time will automatically be managed. So whenever in trouble, you ask yourself 3 questions. How do you see yourself as? How do people see you? And would you like to design your life? How would you like to be remembered? These are the three questions which will give you some clarity whenever you have some kind of problem. And a what we say, a dharma sankat kind of thing, no? In a crossroad. And three personality traits to conquer. What I have learned is confidence 30%, even if you don't know, if you have courage 20%, and clarity. So how can you start having clarity? Ask as many questions as possible. That will give you clarity. Clarity leads to conviction and confidence, and that leads to courage to take, because you will now have informed decision to make. And four communication aspects to be careful about is communication is not only about speaking English, it is about speaking, reading, learning, listening, and writing, right? All of them equally important. How much time are you spending on listening, reading, and writing? I bet if you are having a communication problem, you are not reading enough, you are not listening enough, you are not writing at all, right? And what is leadership style ingredients? How you will be appreciated by people? It is uh, to have the top-down approach. If you are giving direction, of course, as a leader, you have to give some direction to your team. That is 5%. Delegation has to be 10%. Unless it is very necessary, you don't delegate. Coaching as 15%. So whoever you coach will obviously would try to take over whatever work you are struggling with. And empowering is 70%. So if you empower people, they will decide what work to take up and work how they can minimize your involvement. They will take the work. Do you agree with me? So, and then all this can be done by strategizing your career later. The first thing is to know that you have your results to be known. Growth trajectory, you should, as I told you, the growth trajectory is not going upwards all the time. It might be in loops, right? It doesn't matter even if it is in loops, but train people to replace you, and all the time there should be some change. If you are going upwards and you are getting down, then see why you are getting down and do something which will take you up. And always, always outgrow wherever you are. Outgrow the same system. You should not be repeating yourself. That means you need to learn every time. That is how you will allow people to replace you. Because when you are gone, people should be able to take over and do the work. 6 things you have to do: the problem analysis, the presentation skill, optimum use of time, budget and HR, creating second line leaders, overcoming an ambiguity, and subject matter expertise. These are the 6 things you need to keep in mind. And breaking myths. There are people will say hard work will bring us some some results. So it is not hard work, it is smart work. So how will you convert your work right now to smart work? So it has to be 40-20-20 goal, smart work, happiness, influence. If you cover it, is as per your choice, whatever percentage you want to give yourself. But you should be saving much time doing the work second time. First time you did something, it took you 1 hour. Second time you do, it should take you 30 minutes. Next time on, it should take you 15 minutes. Eventually, it should take you 5 minutes only, because you are habituated with that. And so that is what smart work is. You have to know many things. You have to have hands-on experience. You need to know how to delegate and how to maneuver, how to leverage other people's expertise also. And this is my blueprint, wherein the triangle is established with difference, resilience, influence, and prominence, as I said already. And these will be of varied degree according to the attitude, habit, action, and perception, which are mindset traits. These are the mindset traits. These are the tools. And eventually, you will become a resourceful influencer. And once you become an influencer, the entire thing starts again. So what skill set you will learn in that leadership growth, which is a leadership influencer uh, skills that you will learn. So this is about your tool set, this is about your mindset, and this is the skill set that you have to master to have leadership growth. Learning impacts. So the first aim is you have to know what, according to you, is the characteristics of a learning mindset. And these are the 10 aspects of a leadership growth from bottom up. If you go, it is about identifying your strength, winning response, power bonding, handling change, managing challenges, emotional intelligence, dealing with ambiguity, practicing mindfulness, daily wins, next level growth. So these are the 10 things that we need to practice every week in my growth on challenge. Once you come to this course, then we, along with you, we will create this go-thon practices each week. So it will take basically 10 weeks. What does that mean? 10 weeks means nearly 3 months, right? The 5 gifts, as I told you, it will be your internal patterns, power of within. How do you do that? There is a process to it. And what will happen? You will start the day with a defined expectation. You write down what do you want at the end of the day. It is such a miraculous thing. Sometimes you will write something and you will not achieve something, but then if you have written something, no, it will come in another way. For example, I had written down that I will be having extra 1 lakh per month, 1.5 lakhs. So it has to start from somewhere, right? So when I wrote down, so I didn't have any clue as to how this will happen. So my mentor said to write it down anyways. So I wrote it down. So you should also, I will ask you to write it down. So it will happen in some way or other. From this thing, I'll give you some solutions. People will get, whoever is listening, they will get some comfort level, right? They will learn something. They will come back with some questions afterwards. So that is a process going on in the coaching. But what I have done is the same coaching I am extending to another organization where they have started work with me at 30,000 extra per month, just for 10 days of involvement. Is it not a good idea? So it will happen in some way. So you have to start small. I have been talking to that organization for some time now. I had worked there about 5 years back, and I know their weaknesses, and I wanted to support them there so that I am connected to the ground level reality. You know, all of you, whoever has come to this webinar or watching this, they need some kind of help. That is what has been, all of us need some kind of help. Don't you agree with me there? Because when there is a problem, who do you go to? Some friend, right? And what does that friend give you? Some advice, right? You apply that advice and come out of that problem. Sometimes that problem doesn't get solved. Now what do? You again discuss with another friend, maybe more discussion. So this is what we will be doing in our community. So I am inviting you to my community to learn all the time. Start small. I am telling, the Taj Mahal was not built in one day. The first day the foundation stone was laid, it was not Taj Mahal. So slowly it took the shape of Taj Mahal. So from the first day it will not happen. And eventually, when it happens, your hard work gets paid. And we need to be slowly seeing our dreams take shape. Who else will see that if not we ourselves? So that is what we will be uh, learning. And that is why I wonder at times am I teaching leadership growth directly, or I'm teaching how to manifest things, right? But it doesn't matter whether you are achieving your goal this way, that way, you are being happy, you are contented, and you are doing things greatly. It's okay. The next is soul search. You know, it will not be a straightforward and very simple way, or full of roses all the time. There will be so many failures in the way, and we have to fall and get up and work again and again, again and again. We need to learn from our experiences, learn whatever failure we have, and we rise with gratitude. That is what mindfulness is. The soul search is. So you have to feed your mind every day, your soul, right? Next is continuous upgrade. Everybody knows that whatever skill that you have, you know, are you, I of course will in this level, I will not be teaching you whatever level, whatever work that you do, but I'll be teaching you, I'll be telling you, I'll be empowering you with the questions, whether you are doing the right thing, whether you are continuously upgrading yourself. Those are the questions I'll be asking you continuously, right? This is somebody appreciated me because when I was working in Jharkhand, he was my colleague, and he became the panchayat secretary later on. And there was no other worker along with me. I was there alone looking after 43 villages in the entire district of Kuti, you know, in Jharkhand. And it was a Naxal affected area. Still, I could achieve what I wanted to achieve. Revived the watershed area and worked along with the Naxals to uh, achieve the results, you know. So and why are you not worried? Are you not wondering as to why the Naxals didn't do any harm to me? That is the winning point, you know. These Naxals are tribals, and tribals actually sense your heart, your body language. If the genuineness is there, they are not going to harm you. In Kuti, if you know, the communication system, the auto rickshaw is not there. So whenever I wanted to go to the remote villages, I had to go by a bus, early morning bus at 5:30 a.m. and I had to return by 12 p.m. You know, so sometimes I didn't get the bus. I walked 3 to 4 miles before I get any lift or something. So he's saying that she finds a way out for herself. So what results you will get? Raising the bar at each milestone. Nobody will appreciate you, doesn't matter. But if you are doing something better than yesterday, it is a win. 1% improvement daily. If you have written, say, 5 words yesterday, today, if you are writing 5 sentences, it is a win. Writing a big vision, a win. Sometimes you won't trust the vision that you have written. So, like say, suppose you write going to the moon. Will you trust yourself doing that? But I'll tell you something. Don't worry whether that is possible or not. If it is written, have it being written. Don't cut it. Don't scratch it. Don't waste that paper. Because it is some kind of dream which will come true in some way or other. Maybe you are not going to the moon, but you will be in ninth cloud and in the moon. Maybe you may be moon lifted. You will never know. You have to write with complete trust, complete faith, you know, and outline an execution plan. Why this is necessary, you know. When you have a very big goal, you have to write down each milestone. What today, what tomorrow, what will be day after. if it is very difficult to do it at one go, take several days. But right now, suddenly, you cannot plan out a big vision. So can you do it for 7 days? What you will do today and tomorrow? So when the tomorrow comes, write down another 3 things for that day and the next day. It will make a habit because you will be accomplishing so much of thing. It will prompt you with the next possibility. Try it out. The next is delegate appropriate. As I told you, mentoring the second level is very, very important. And why it is important is not because of them. Your selfish thing is that you want to have a 4 days work week. You want time freedom, right? So have that time freedom, 4 days work week. How it will be done? That is what we will be learning. Prioritization of work. Suppose suddenly you find yourself writing down, say 10 to 20 tasks every day. Are you going to do all the 20 tasks yourself? No. Those works need to be done, need to be completed, but you are not doing all the 20 tasks. So whoever you are delegating it to, whoever else is doing it. So just separate those tasks from whatever you are doing. You cannot work more than on 3 tasks a day. So those 3 tasks you need to figure out, do it. And if something else also comes up, suppose your boss gives you some extra work, what would you do? So if it is a small work, then you can do immediately if it is a immediate requirement, but that will be very, very rare, such things. So what you will do is you can list down that, jot down, and allocate a time for it when to do, right? And the next is legacy. If you, whatever skills you have, if you want to become a subject matter expertise. The other day I was watching one of my colleague who is working in the wind energy space, and his way is how to get a job, appropriate job for you. What does wind energy has to do with the appropriate jobs search? He has 100 days of content as to how this entire journey will make you very different, very distinct, and achieve you that job. So that is with awe that we are watching his journey. And you will be also surprised that these journeys are very, very different from the usual journey. You cannot figure out, cannot put everything in a straight line. It has to be taking a lot of loops before you arrive there. And the results will be, you can learn a digital skill, you can know data management skills, strategic support you might be giving, as I'm giving the strategic support right now, helping others with content, because so many coaches are around me. I am a coach, and there are many coaches who would like some support with the content writing. Maybe they are not able to write that fast that I'll write. Maybe I can help them with that. You can also help them with that. So learning impact one. There are 6 or 7 learning impact that we have. There is not much time to go through one by one, but there are learning impacts that we'll be learning. These are the first stage of learning. You have to go through this to finer parts. You have to find out your own way of functioning. And unless you do these things, this preliminary work, you will not be carried to that stage. That is the thing. And already we have discussed about this. This is a tradition of Gurukul that we are establishing. I have 12 mentors, as I said, and I have a super grand mentor also, who is the coach of Robert Kiyosaki. I'm learning from him also. I am learning from the Singaporean coach who is teaching me inner championing, and Dr. Robert D. Martini. Some of my mentors are students of him, so we are learning from them also, and so many other luminaries. the indirect learning is happening every day. It is such a wonderful community to be in, wherein you don't need, you just invest a small amount to get into the community. It is a subscription method. You come in there and you keep on getting the learning. And you just decide what learning you want to do, and that learning will come to you. So if you come to my VIP Facebook group, where there are a lot of many coaches, and all of them represent different niche, and maybe you need some of them more than what you need here. It is okay if you are going there, but how to get part of my community wherein these learnings will be facilitated? Can you reach out to them personally? Might not be. So I have a vision to train 1 lakh super performing global pairs like this for a sustainable globe, and working with core values, and what I think about Peace, Green and Abundance initiative, which is global calming, cooling and greening. We'll be discussing that. Focus on ultimate objective. Was I influencing with resourcefulness? Yes. This process also we can come across with. Was I making sense to the most silent member in the team? That is also we are going to learn. So what is your main pain point? Uh, uh, are you struggling with your time, or you are not getting a proven path? Your reputation is at stake. You are not able to make choices properly. Any of this can be taken care of here. So here you will get in a brief tips to stand out with unique abilities. You will get tools how you can be dependable, tricks to enhance your skills, how to work better on them. Every skill has thousands of other sub skills, so on which to focus, right? So that also, according to your personality, according to your experience, your aptitude, that needs to be focused on fact, that needs to be found out. So these are the some of the things that we'll be learning here. We'll be asking you some questions with your growth score, and then we'll be learning those growth score as well. And so in short, let me come to that slide. The entire thing is valued at 2 lakhs. So each framework, if you are coming to me with a one-to-one support system, then I'll be working with you. It will take you time, which will be 2 lakhs. But if you come to a group coaching system first to test out what all I'll be teaching you, then it will take you only at 14,999. So if you are interested, then we'll be talking further, and how you would come to my community, we will decide that. And that's it. Thank you for watching.